Have you seen where all of these like little tween, preteen girls are going into Sephora and getting their skincare from Sephora, and everybody's like, oh my God. Well, they're doing it because their parents are letting them do it. Okay. And I'm going to talk about what skincare was like back when I was growing up, when I was like 12, 13 years old, when my mom started my skincare journey, I guess you could call it. Well, it all started out with, okay, now you can use a moisturizer. And it was something like, just like drugstore version of moisturizer. I'm not even sure what it was at first. And then when I got a little bit older, you start to have the breakouts. I was so lucky I didn't have very many breakouts, but I don't know who all remembers the Buff Puff, but Buff Puffs were always in my house. And my mom used Buff Puffs, I think, until her last living days. But you would put you'd get it wet, and then you would put Dove soap, like bar soap on it, and then you'd scrub your face. And then you would put your moisturizer on. And then if you were really desperate, like you had a breakout and you really wanted to get rid of it, then they had this like torture stuff that was called St. Ives. And I can't remember if it was like peach pits or walnuts or something that was in the scrub that would take off the first like 2 layers of skin on your face. And we thought that this was good for us. It really wasn't. You're just like damaging your skin over and over and over. But that's how it started out with me, and I think a lot of other older people. That's where you started from. You didn't start at Sephora, which wasn't really Sephora back then, but you were getting drugstore stuff. You weren't going to the department store and getting stuff from there. I don't even think that that's really a good idea, because a lot of this stuff in Sephora is formulated for young adults, and on up, right? I don't, preteen skin, childhood skin is different than the skin that you get when you turn into a teenager, right? Because you're a teenager, you go through all those hormones, and your skin is different. So I think it's actually probably quite damaging to buy your preteen Sephora stuff. It's just not, I don't think it's made for them, in my opinion. So those were the things that we had when we were growing up, at least what I had when I was growing up, for skincare, if you want to call it that. But that was it. And I was probably lucky to have that. But any other people on here that are of the older generation remember these things? I also remember there was a thing called Pond's cold cream. I don't think that I ever used that, but I might have. I really can't remember. But pop in the comments, let me know what you guys use for your skincare, because we wasn't going to Sephora. Okay, love you guys. Bye.